So in Procreate, we're going to create a new art canvas. We'll go up to the right corner, click on the plus sign, and I'm going to pick 11 by 17. I have multiple art canvases that I've set up as I've worked in Procreate throughout the years. So 11 by 17 just happens to be a standard size for me when I'm doing my comic book artwork. Now let's take a look at the size of the canvas. We'll click on the wrench icon. We'll go to canvas information and we'll click on the dimensions. So you're going to see that this tells us exactly what I have set up. Its physical width is 11 inches, its physical height is 17 inches, and its DPI, or what I'd like to think of as resolution, is 300. What that 300 number represents is a high enough resolution so that if you were to take your artwork, whether it's a painting or a comic book, and print it, it is going to print nicely. And so whether the output is for a comic book or some kind of print, you want to be in that minimum 300 DPI range so that the artwork prints crisp and clear. Now we're also going to take a look at how many layers I get with this resolution at that canvas size. So let's click on layers, and it will tell us that we have maximum layers of 27 that we can use. Now this is important because depending on your work style or your format as far as how you construct your artwork, you may need more layers or you might just need less layers. So let's take a look at what happens when you change up the size of your canvas. I'm going to go back to crop and resize, and I'm going to click on settings, and I'm going to change the settings here so that I'm going to go up to, let's say, 18 inches by 24 inches. And what that does, as you can see here, we had 11 by 17, now sized up to 18 by 24 inches. Resolution, or the DPI, is still 300. So we'll click done, and that will show us our 18 by 24. And I like to use 18 by 24 when I'm doing my own digital paintings, so that is larger than my 11 by 17 comic book pages. And just on a technical note, the 11 by 17 happens to be the standard proportions and dimensions for an American or United States standard comic book. 18 by 24 happens to be just a really good popular size, so that if I were to make prints, they would be large enough to, if I wanted to resize them smaller, there would be plenty of resolution. But also 18 by 24 is a standard size if I wanted to make a print and need to be reproduced, say, to fit a frame. So let's take a look at this canvas size. Click on the wrench icon, and then we're going to look at the canvas information. So remember, we changed this canvas to now be 18 by 24 inches. So let's go ahead and take a look at that to confirm. Yes, our dimensions are 18 by 24. The DPI is still 300. Now I'm going to click on layers, and what you'll notice now is that we now have 9 layers as our maximum. So that, again, take into account when you're setting up your pages, your art canvas, that you want to be aware of how many layers you are using and how that relates to your canvas size and as well your resolution.